Alright guys, we're here. We're gonna go through chapter 10 and then wait forever. And then whenever, if ever, the devs decide to release the, to let people stream the rest of the game, then we will come back and we will play the routes in this game. Title screen hits a bit different now, huh? Since what we found out from the previous chapters. The art is still goddamn beautiful though. Zhongdan, man, he is my top. Number one. I think I'm not gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of Gojian at the moment. He seems very flippy floppy, can't make up his mind kind of thing, but I understand kind of where he's coming from because he's like a king of the other place, and then our kingdom beat his kingdom, and then he became a slave, like a political slave or whatever. And then we were childhood friends with him. It's a little bit of an awkward situation, but yeah. Wu Zhi, I feel like he's like my second least interested. Wait, the second one I'm least interested in, but I feel like maybe his route would change my mind with that. And then Chunfeng, I don't know, he's kind of dull too, but if he shows more puppy side, then I can see myself quickly liking him. And then his name is Yi Guang, right? I think. Main dude, beautiful man right here. He's too male protagonist to me. I typically like the side. I go for side characters more, but cannot deny that this man is beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I'm like moving my mouse, but I realized you can't see my cursor, so I was like circling them. Alright, let's load. Where did we leave off? Chapter 10. This looks like the beginning. Alright. It is an auspicious day to send the troops off and to pray and offer sacrifice to ask for victory in this war. We are here today at the altar on the island of Lake Tai to offer up an animal that I had personally killed with Yi Guang and to consecrate its blood. The aim is to become like the legendary Yellow Emperor when he defeated the powerful warrior king Qi Yu. We praise and beg the Yellow Emperor loudly for victory in this battle. In the midst of the black smoke from the burning sacrifice, Gojian, Chenfeng, and I aboard the Royal Navy ship Yuhuang.
少君，我和少江公子也要启程去镐京了，你多保重。
He's wearing the fancy outfit of when the Dragon King betrayal outfit. Haojing. We needed to go to Haojing. Oh yeah, they wanted to start a war with Xiaojian's kingdom. Likewise.
国与国之间的大战，比我们之前遇到过的战斗都要残酷。你带上余裕，以防万一。
The journey to Haojing is long and perilous. You should keep the amulet.
少君，如果你不想戏子担心到吃不下睡不着的话，就收下吧。上次你没答应收下朱雀剑，所以现在我还是它的主人，也能用它保护先生。
Fine. You two must also come back safely.
一定。
祝愿少君大捷。
Prime Minister.
臣在。
We are leaving you in charge of Gusu and the kingdom of Ung for now.
臣必不负少君重托。
I give everyone gathered at the shore a hand-on-hand salute before setting the white sails against the smoky wind as we snake along the river heading towards the sea. The loud, clear, low thumps of the drums seem to rise and fall with the wind and the waves, making it sound as if the last thunderstorm of summer is approaching.
少君，接到江北传书，辎重营正在将征收到的粮草沿途搬运上船，近日将东出淮水，与我们在海上会合。
Tell them to be very careful when they reach the delta of the river as it forks out into many distributaries. Our supply route needs to remain a secret.
少君放心，掩护和沿途暗号都已经安排好了，还可以随时改变路线。
Good. General Xu Cheng is an old naval personnel with a lot of experience. We trust his judgment. I take in a lungful of damp air as we near the river's mouth. It is clear that even with an outstanding ship like Yu Huang, we are still an insignificant tiny fish compared to the wide seas. Chen Feng, this will be our first big battle since we were crowned, and we would be lying if we said that we're unperturbed.
齐国无道，上天一定会护佑少君的。
If they know that this is what they are doing... Wait, if they know that what they are doing is wrong in the eyes of heaven, do you not find it suspicious that they are still so anxious to start this war with us?
谁知道呢？
Chen Feng? Since you are Mr. Sunwu's disciple, you might not be familiar with the ways of heaven. However, when it comes to battle tactics, you are second to none. So we are not convinced when you tell us that you do not know.
是臣无能，不能替少君分忧。
I love this background track a lot. Chen Feng, although you have accepted the position of commander of the royal guards because of the former king, we know that you are very talented. Be it commanding the troops at war or running the government in times of peace, there is nothing you cannot accomplish.
臣对出将入相不感兴趣，但是如果少君下令，臣自会去做。
It is not a question of whether we command it of you or not. Have you never given a thought about what you want to do once the sacred vow is broken? It is not like we can keep you by our side forever.
我宁愿困一辈子。
Usually he would continue with a joke, although Chen Feng is not one to joke around. As someone who grew up with him, we have long past crossed that clear line between a king and a subject. Don't know if that made sense. I stare at him for quite a long while, but he does not say anything more. This leaves me feeling a little mystified. Ahem. Chen Feng, your wounds from the last battle have not completely healed yet. Yet you refuse to stay behind at the palace to recuperate. You should rest more on the ship before the battle begins.
阿玉，你又要留下我了吗？
Huh?
大王，
Oh, he finally got an upgrade to his outfit.
臣告退。
Bye. Look at Coach. Save. I also just realized that these choices in this common route probably determines which route I'm landing on, so I don't know why I did not think of that at all in the 7 hours I was playing last time. I want to stop Chen Feng. Like, we're not done talking, sir. Sorry, Gojian, we'll catch up later. Chen Feng pauses but does not turn back, and he walks directly towards the cabin. The image of Chen Feng's retreating figure looks a little strange. He has always hated Gojian, and without my orders, he has never chosen to leave on his own when Gojian is around. Oh, is that why when he was supposed to watch him in the what? The pool? The mirror pool? He did not do his job. That is why his actions now have made me a little perplexed. Perhaps I'm not the only one getting anxious about the battle. Maybe Chen Feng, who has always shown so much self-control, is also feeling a little uneasy.
大王，越军水师已经停在前面的河口了。
Your sleeve is so gigantic, dude. Very puffy. So you are here to bid me farewell, Ajo.
多谢阿玉，让我能够在有生之年回到越国。
From now onwards, I will not be able to call you Ajo anymore. I need to call you the King of Yue.
想叫阿九就叫好了，我不介意。
There is no way I can do that. You are no longer Gojian, a political prisoner of nor the guard of the mausoleum, Ajo. Okay, I only hope that the King of Ung and the King of Yue would be able to put the past behind them and forget about taking revenge on each other. From now onwards, let's be good towards one another for another 100 years.
吴王深谋远虑，是勾践浅薄了。
My goals have never changed, but after facing so many life-threatening dangers with you as we work against a common enemy, it made me think, can the kingdoms of Ung and Yue not be like the two of us?
国君一体，先君之耻，由今君之耻也。即使吴王有这个想法，吴国是否也能和吴王同心呢？
If you, as the King of Yue, is willing to bury the hatchet with me, and we can mutually treat each other with sincerity and respect, I will naturally guarantee that I will quell all opposition and overcome all obstacles to forge a better and more peaceful future with you.
阿玉，吴王，你当真信我？
Stop throwing this question at us. Like, this is why I'm not a fan of you, Gojian. You once asked me to trust you, and today I'm willing to place my trust in you again. Trusting my life to you. Trusting that Ung and Yue can become like sworn brothers to bring about peace and prosperity to our two kingdoms. Yo, his bad end must be mad betrayal. Hacho, King of Yue, I trust you. Gojian stares at me as if deep in thought. From what I can see in his eyes, all the emotions and thoughts are coming together like an underwater whirlpool, hidden and deep. After a long while of consideration, he breaks out in laughter.
好，我愿与吴王击掌为誓，吴越同舟。
I raise my hand to his and clap it against his hand 3 times. The small boat from the Yue troops has also arrived, and it anchors alongside the Yu Huang to come and pick him up. When Gojian returns to the Yue's naval boats, he keeps to the plan. He orders Yue's naval boats to get into formation in front of the Ng's boats on the Han Canal before heading north along the Huai River towards the sea so that they can deal with the Qi's naval troops. That was a really long sentence. After sailing for a few days, we come to the last port before reaching the sea. At Yunti Pass, both Ung and Yue ships are docked here for repairs while we await the arrival of the supply ships. Although the kingdom of Ung is near the sea, most of our battles are fought on rivers, so we do not have much experience when it comes to fighting on the sea. While I am discussing what to do after we are out at sea with General Xu Cheng, Chen Feng brings in a Yue troop scout into my cabin.
报告吴王，越州出海之御夷刺探发现齐国船队。
御夷，那已经离咱们很近了。
After sending the scout away, I quickly consult the map. According to our original plans, we should enter Langya's waters to do battle with Qi's naval troops. I never thought that the Qi's troops would travel so far that they had already attacked the towns along the river mouth. They are unimaginably fast. Chen Feng, where should the supply troops be at this point in time?
之前约定的是50会合，现在没接到什么新消息，应该还得等一会儿。
Right now, the Qi's troops are attacking at full force. We cannot wait until they get to the river's mouth to meet us. Set sail now. Xu Cheng and Chen Feng agree unhesitantly and immediately start to giving out the orders. I have seen many signs that things are not as it should be, and I have a bad feeling about this. It is time to prepare for an attack. Chen Feng, how are things going on Xu Cheng's side?
徐将军阵型未散，应该还能支撑一阵。
The Qi's troops are indeed anchored at the river mouth. Are all the scouts dead?
他们用小翼分散潜入，在大海上很难发现。
Send the command to the Yue troops. They must intercept the main naval troops from Qi and must not let them advance further south to attack our supplies.
No.
Also, send the scouts to the supply troops and tell them to wait at Yunti Pass. If the supply troops arrive here now, they would only help the Qi's troops increase their head count of kills. A soldier comes stumbling towards Chen Feng and passes him a message. Chen Feng immediately goes white when he hears it.
少君，辎重营在南屿被齐军战船拦截了。
I feel like someone has punched the wind out of my lungs as my head starts to hurt. How far is Nanyu from here?
朝上游传行，大约2克。
Dude, that's a pretty long time. How did the Qi troops slip past us to get upstream?
这里岔道甚多，多半是在两军交战时偷偷溜进去的。
Something is not right. If they were able to slip past us using a distributary, then how did they manage to stop our supply troops?
要么是齐国的斥候厉害，要么
Yeah, perhaps. We have a mole. Perhaps. I clutch at my chest and look to the north. That is exactly the place where we were to meet the Yue troops to have a face-off the Qi's naval troops. Because Yue's troops would also be meeting their own supply troops there, only one other person other than myself and a handful of generals know about that secret route. Can it be as Wu Zishu said? At first, there were only a few black dots on the horizon, where the sea meets the sky. Soon, those black dots grow in numbers. The sound of battle seems to have stopped. I stare so hard at the sea so as not to miss even a single seabird. This is the result of me betting on my life. If I lose, I will be willing to die here at sea in this battle. We have finally come close enough to see the big ships, but we have yet to see the troops from Yue. Gojian. Chen Feng, quick, see if it is the Yue's naval troops.
是，他们从山崖下突袭，应该是打算冲散齐国周氏的布阵。
I can't help but laugh out loud, while Chen Feng remains expressionless. I immediately turn my thoughts on the supply troops, which are now in greater danger. Let the army to the right fall back to protect the supply troops.
敌人如果见到右军后撤，一定都会聚到右侧来。
Oops. Use our central troops to replace the right troops.
少军要亲自上阵吗？
We're just shuffling everyone around. Don't worry about it. No, leave the duties of leading the central army to Xucheng. His experience in war is far more than ours, hence, he will be more capable of reading the situation and reacting quicker than we would. How many ships is the Royal Guards using?
3艘。
Good. Then let's take these 3 ships to Nanyu.
这个数量根本不能对抗包围辎重营的齐军。
Sacrifices have to be made to deceive the enemy and to snatch our supplies back. We are just going to act as a decoy so as to let the supply troops escape. The Royal Guards are excellent defenders and fighters, so it should be fine.
少军，以身犯险值得吗？就算辎重营没了，我们还有大半粮草。
But once the Kingdom of Qi gets our supplies, they will be able to drag out the war. If that happens, we will undoubtedly lose the war and have a smaller chance of surviving.
那就由我替你去。
What is the point if we are not there to act as bait? It is better that you let Xucheng know of our plans so that he may reassure the soldiers. Tell him that this is a plan to trap the enemy and to hold off all of the Qi's troops that come his way. Chen Feng, now is not the time to get lost in thought. Now go.
你从来不在乎我怎么想的，是不是？
Just speak up, bro. Actually, he been speaking up. Look at his dead inside eyes. What are you talking about at this point in time? If you do not want to come with us, you are welcome to stay with Xucheng.
我大概是疯了。
Duh, we know. We as a player know he doesn't want us to go because he doesn't want us to die.
这
Sir.
次我死都会救出你的，阿宇。
He's like, it should have been me who got stabbed with the sword, not Gojian. It should have been me. Saying this, Chen Feng jumps into a small bow, waiting alongside the Yu Huang as he heads in the direction of the right army. His actions are too strange, and while I would like to ponder more on what he meant, I don't have the luxury of time for that as we face the enemy. In no time at all, some of the ships fighting alongside General Xucheng raise their banners up and let the center troops fall back to rejoin us as I order the Yu Huang to turn back upstream. As I expected, the Qi troops start to chase after the right army and I, as Xucheng goes head-on with them. Our ships clash with the enemies as both sides. On both sides? The flaming arrows seem to dye the sky and sea in a golden red color as they fly between ships. I grit my teeth as I heroically draw away from the battle and circle back to the distributaries. Yu Huang is a large ship and thus it moves slowly. While we are desperately trying to get to Nanyu, the supply troops already had some of their boats sunk and relied on few armed escort boats to defend against the attack. Just as the battle is getting too much for the Ung troops, they see the banner of the Yuhuang and it renews their fighting spirit. Even the Qi's troops that had them surrounded pause their attacks when they see the banner of the King of Ung. What are you waiting for? Come at the king, if you dare. Shouting from the bow of my boat, I managed to irritate the Qi troops, as most of them turn their boats around and come charging at the Yuhuang. Withdraw! Yuhuang looks very clumsy when it turns around, which encourages the Qi troops to chase us even more. If only they knew that the distributaries of the Huai River is muddy and has parts where one can easily run aground if they don't know the way. As expected, after chasing us for half an hour, a lot of the Qi's boats have run aground along the distributaries, and not to be beaten, the Qi troops send more ships after us. While we play a game of hide-and-seek with the Qi troops, the sound of a distant horn reaches our ears. It is the sign that the rescue mission was a success. The royal guards took the opportunity while the Qi's troops were occupied to secretly help the supply troops escape with the provisions, bypass the pursuers, and return to the river mouth. Following the wind currents, Yuhuang starts to speed up while the Qi troops are encumbered with the escort boats on the supply troops. This enrages the Qi troops as they give up chasing after the supply troops and focus on coming after the Yuhuang instead. It's raining? I look up to gaze at the river mouth. There was not a cloud in the sky when I left, and now there's a sudden gathering of rolling black clouds, and flashes of lightning can be seen, peeking from between the gaps in the cloud. The clouds. No matter how unpredictable the weather can be at sea, it cannot be this strange, right? Oh. A frightening thunder comes down and parts the sea as I raise my hands to shield my eyes. After that blinding flash, that gathering of dark clouds becomes the Taotia. Everyone around me is in an uproar while I lean against the mast, shocked beyond words. Give me 1 sec, I gotta blow my nose. Okay. This thing can materialize in the real world? I can still remember how it disintegrated into thousands of pieces in the dark array. The cheer comes from the Qi troops who, while we were in a daze, has caught up with us. We will not make it back in time. Let us stand our grounds here with the people of Qi to do battle to the death. The people of Ung have always been strong and hardy. We even overpowered all the northern kingdoms. Why should we fear the playthings of those filthy people of Qi? Okay, that's a little bit... generalization. I draw out my sword and hack the side of the ship. The soldiers are shocked by my anger and quickly take up arms against the Qi troops as they assemble onto the deck. Because most of the royal guards went to protect the supply troops, the soldiers find themselves outnumbered and cannot beat back the Qi troops that keep flooding onto the deck. What is spam? Report for spam. Spam. Okay, anyways, oh. Uh-oh. Chen Feng!
阿玉，我来救你了。
Were you not with Xu Cheng?
绝对不会再让人伤害你。
Chen Feng answers me with a very gloomy expression. When a Qi soldier sees his comrades being killed, he comes charging at us. Chen Feng never bat an eye as he raises his sword and gives that soldier's head a hack. In an instant, that soldier splits into half at his shoulders. Anyone who dares come at me are cut down one by Chen Feng as he dyes everything, as far as I can see, in blood. Okay! He's slaying. Literally. Who is this person in front of me? My instincts are screaming at me to run away. A soldier from the Royal Guards notices that there is something amiss and wants to stop Chen Feng when I unwittingly shouted out. Chen Feng, stop! The sword that would have cut the Royal Guard's head in half slowly stops in midair. Chen Feng shuts his eyes as if in pain, and then he shoots me a look of evil hatred.
过来！
Okay. What are you going to do? When he sees me standing there motionlessly, he comes at me and throws me over his shoulder. Before I can even struggle, I feel my body falling. I never thought that I would fall into the water like this and only managed to get half a mouthful of air. Chen Feng holds me by my waist as he swims at a fast pace under the water like a fish. I take in a few mouthfuls of river water as my consciousness starts to fade.
阿玉，醒醒！
Pooh. Cough, cough. Chen Feng's face is only inches away. Even though we have always been close, this distance is a little too close for comfort. From this distance, I can look into his eyes to see a burning black flame that I've never seen before. It burns hot with madness and yet cold with ruthlessness. Okay, I'm kind of into that, not gonna lie. Like for a character to be so obsessed with another character that they'll do anything. Yeah. Let us go.
放心，你已经安全了。
Quick, let go of us.
寡人，寡人，恶驴，你的王会什么时候才放过阿玉？
Send us back to the ship. If you're going to disobey our orders, we will kill you as the law stipulates. Okay.
你总是罔顾自己的安危。如果天下所有人的命都比你的重要，但我只有阿玉，从来都只有他一个。
Bro, is Hulu? Hulu is my father, I think.
不会让你死的，你是我的。
Okay, you gotta. Okay, that's too much now. Fine. If you're going mad, we will go mad with you. Kill him. I draw my sword and hold it to Chen Feng's neck. He lets out a laugh of disdain and suddenly dodges the edge of my sword. I did not see what he drew when he drew his sword, but there's a cut in my armor. Although I can feel the adrenaline pumping through me, I am facing against a merciless warrior, and the best I can do is to defend myself. After a few blows, my armor is left in splinters with only a shoulder guard. Bro really did a number on us.
再来一剑，阿玉就真的要受伤了。
Do it, even though you're the one who said that you would make sure nothing happened to her. Do it. Kill me with one stab if you can.
我怎么舍得？
Chen Feng gives a dangerous laugh before coming at me with the hilt of his sword with the intention of hitting me in the stomach at full force. I know that if this blow lands on me, I wouldn't be able to stand up straight. Then all he needs to do is to hit my neck from the back and I will be knocked out cold. The only way to stop him would be to stab my sword deep into his chest, but I cannot bring myself to do that. I think you should, girlie. In my moment of hesitation, it is now too late for me to react.
吴少君，你没事吧？
Oh, Xiaojiang. Queen. Princess Xiaojiang? We were alright. Chen Feng... Oops.
放心，我只是用法术击晕了他。
We should marry her, for real. Thank you, Princess. But why are you
我
here?
和西子入了须江不久，就发现被人跟踪了。先生逼问之下，跟踪者承认自己是齐国细作，但我们去镐京和吴齐之战并没有什么关系。齐国人搅进来肯定不对劲，我们便掉头朝东来了。
So the Taotia was summoned by the people of Qi. No wonder their boats are so fast.
邪灵本来没有实体，能让它现世，一定需要强大的灵力。我担心。
Xiaojiang anxiously caressed the phoenix dagger at her waist, and I can guess what is worrying her as I pat her on the shoulder. There's no telling who is going to win and who is going to lose, thus worrying about it is pointless. Where is Yiguang?
他已经直接往河口去了。我们在来的路上感觉到了2股和龙神相似的邪气，所以就分头行事了。没想到居然遇到你和陈峰在互搏。
The dragon god's presence. Are you talking about Chenfeng? He has been acting very strangely. Xiaojiang kneels by Chenfeng and feels the back of his neck as her face pales. She then nods her head with certainty.
没错，他身上的邪气相当严重，已经被侵蚀颇长一段时日了。
His corruption arc. Okay. That is due to our own carelessness. We kept thinking that it was only a matter of time before he would recover after he came out of the dark array.
连我们身为巫祝的察觉不到，何况吴少君？原来陈峰也去了血祭阵，是因为被施了这种邪术。
What kind of sorcery?
有一种异神术，可以混乱人的心智，达到控制他的目的。要在一夜之间让人性情大变，也不是那么容易的事。所以这等邪术都会寄生在人心的薄弱处，将不起眼的弱点慢慢扩大成心魔。
A demon in the heart. I gaze at Chenfeng's pale face and feel an unbearable tightness in my chest. I've always thought that it is because he was grateful to my father and loyal to the country that he gave up his bright future to stay by my side as an attendant. I never thought that his concern for me would run so deep that it has become a demon in his heart. Thinking back, I am unable to count the number of times I've ignored his entreaties and put myself in life-threatening situations. I've always assumed that between Yiguang and I, and our determination, we could take down the powerful dragon god. He must have been very hurt by this.
吴少君，陈峰身上的法术一时半会儿解不了，我得去支援西子。
I'll go with you. Xiaojiang and I drag Chenfeng onto the little boat that she came in, and we quickly make our way to the Yuhuang. We love a self-aware protagonist. When the soldiers that are guarding the Yuhuang see me return in one piece, it raises their spirits greatly. They proceed to push back the enemy forces and return to the battle at the river mouth. Shortly after we meet up with the supply troops and leave the army, a report comes to me that Shu Cheng commanded the whole army to retreat. Did we really lose? Girl, you only have a piece of shoulder armor left. With a heavy heart, I look towards the fiery battle and the injured soldiers that are still fighting. Even if we lose, we cannot let the Taotia do as it pleases. The closer we get to the river mouth that is ablaze with fire, the more retreating ships we come across. Surprisingly, there were quite a few boats from Qi amongst them. The soldiers on these ships have already lost their helmets and armor. They look terrified and flustered, and they do not seem interested in pursuing and taking over our ships.
吴少君，你看，
That Taotia is attacking boats from Qi?
怎么会这样？
Suddenly, the boat lurches forward with a gust of wind, and out from the waves of the river comes a big water sword that flies right at the Taotia. The water sword stabs the Taotia, leaving a big hole in the beast, as it is about to break off the mast on the boat from Qi. Blood pours out from that hole, dyeing the whole ship black-red. The Taotia can only roll around in pain, which causes big waves upon big waves to break out. The remains of the other ships crash into one another upon these waves. This makes it dangerous as one of them might just crash into the Yuhuang. Suddenly, a pale green figure emerges out of the floating wreckage as he floats to the bow of the Yuhuang. That figure is Yiguang, and he is carrying yet another injured person. That person was none other than Shu Cheng.
少君，先容我医治徐将军。
As he says that, he cuts the leather belt from General Shu's armor to wrap it around the wound to stop the bleeding. Thank you for your help, Yiguang.
分内之事，我估计龙神已经强占了留在齐国的那把朱雀雄剑的力量，用我伤者的鲜血为祭，使饕餮现世。
Genius.
我也是那么想的。
My eyes follow Xiaojiang's dumbstruck gaze to see the heavily wounded Taotia jumping into the sea and start to suck in all the wreckages. Even the screaming soldiers that have fallen into the water is to become its meal. This bloody and gory scene is very shocking. Evil aura covers up the flesh that the... What? Evil aura covers up the flesh that was left exposed as new flesh quickly grows to fill up that hole that was left by the water sword. Okay.
必须找出布阵之人，否则没完没了。
我们是不是也能唤出气灵，对付那只王八凶兽？
要让灵气实体化需要大量魂力，虽然也不是不能做，但龙神术法不好破，少将公子的魂力恐怕撑不住。还是直接击杀布阵之人最为稳妥。等饕餮完全复原就麻烦了。少将公子，你替我拖延时间，我这就去解决源头。
As Yiguang finishes saying this, the Taotia takes to the skies and violently smashes the remaining ships of the Chi's fleet into two. There are almost no ships left unscathed, as the river mouth and the beast would definitely chase upstream. Wait, Yiguang, we killed the Taotia once before in the Dark Array, so we might be of some help this time.
那会加深恶化，你知道的。
If we wait for that beast to kill off all of Ng's troops and sink the Yuhuang, will there still be a king in Ng?
好，我为你布阵，你可以用血召唤出鱼域中的白虎，但切记要量力而行，失血过多也会死的。
After helping me with the summoning spell with a silver string, Yiguang jumps into a small boat to find the Taotia summoners. I take a knife to cut my hand and let the blood run down onto the amulet. With a bright flash that painted everything white, a white fog appears on the Yuhuang, and as the fog gathers, it turns into a large white tiger. The soldiers are so scared of the white tiger that they retreat to the furthest side of the ship, leaving only the white tiger, Xiaojiang, and myself on deck. The white tiger opens its mouth wide. This scares Xiaojiang so much that she takes out her phoenix dagger, but it turns out that the white tiger just gives me a wet lick.
之前见你还以为是多凶悍的灵兽，原来是只大猫啊！
As Xiaojiang finishes saying this, the white tiger growls softly at her, which scares her into clutching the dagger in her hands tighter. I rub the soft fur at the back of its neck. I will leave it to you to deal with the Taotia. The white tiger gives a roar before flying off towards the sea. The white and black figures clashes against each other as they move the earth and shake the heavens, and even change the colors of the clouds. I wish they had a drawing of the Taotia and the white tiger. However, it hasn't been long since the white tiger has materialized, and it means that its body is not in the best of conditions. I worry that if it were to fall, it would leave the Taotia to attack Yiguang, and I cut myself another time.
吴少君，你脸色不好，先生说要量力而行。
Do not worry, this little bit of blood is nothing.
不行，这样下去你会死的。
When Xiaojian touches the edge of her phoenix dagger, a phoenix appears at the ship's bow with a blinding red flash. Even after seeing so many large divine beasts appearing, the people on board the ship are still overwhelmed as they stare at it with their jaws to the floor.
吴少君，保重。
Xiaojian jumps onto the phoenix and it charges towards the Taotia. The sky is filled with the colors red, white, and black as they come together in a mad frenzy. The soldiers quickly take down the sails to prevent the Yuhuang from getting overturned by their fierce gusts of wind. Perhaps there is too much blood lost. Okay, effect, particle effect. Just as I am wondering if I should staunch the bleeding, there suddenly comes a loud cry. A blood-red beam of light comes out of the phoenix's back and pierces the large eye under the Taotia's elbow. At the same time, on the north side, there comes a blue-green smoke wafted through the air where the battle with the Yue troops is going on. Yiguang has killed the summoner. Only to see the Taotia howl mournfully, the ruptured eyeball starts to burst outwards like a bag full of water under a crushing blow, and a large blood-red flower blooms in the water and dissipates. That is a disgusting image. Ew. While Ng has lost, it is also not a total victory for Qi. I have finally realized that one fact.
吴少君，
Princess, where are we?
我们在云梯关， 齐国周师已经退到外海的港口去了，所以吴军也入港休息了。
Huh. I rubbed my temples. Before I passed out on the boat, I thought I saw a strange apparition of my father.
吴少君，你的伤口发作了吗？
It is then that I realized that my wounded left hand was wrapped thick in bandages. It looks like the cut was not just a scratch. I'm fine. What about Yi Guang?
他去医治伤兵了，托我好好照顾你。只是
Xiaojian looks troubled. When I look at her with curiosity, she starts telling me her thoughts with a red face and some difficulty.
只是，随吴军一起逃到内河的，也有一些齐国人，他们自遭灾祸，本来不值得同情，可他们毕竟是我的国人，
Bro, if we
我
were
也不忍心，
evil,
就恳请先生，连同他们一起医治了。
if we were evil, we could have just killed her for saying this. We thought it was something serious. This is only natural.
吴少君，你不怪我。
We're guessing that it was the dragon god who manipulated Tianheng into killing your brother and starting this war. That's the prime minister, I think, right? Of Qi. With this, they can test the strength of the male phoenix dagger, and if they win, they can get prestige to lessen his sin of killing his king. Someone like him would not care two hoots about the lives of the common people. I don't give not one hoot.
你果然是个真正的大丈夫。
Xiaojiang's eyes are already turning red at this point, and now her tears just start to flow without an end. I can only comfort her by stroking her head. If you're going to praise someone, at least do so with a smile. After all, we cannot pretend to be a real man in front of you.
刚刚我为你换下血衣的时候，看到了你胸口的印记。西子说，那就是你为什么能破龙神阵的原因，也是你生命的计时器。
How is it now?
已经有3片花瓣，
3,
变成
my
黑色了。
god. Does that mean the roots are kind of short? Since the common root is so long? I understand. Thank you, Princess Xiaojiang. What? What is the matter? We are not dead yet, so do not cry.
那种随时会死，还时时刻刻都在折磨你的盟誓，为什么要和神立下那种盟誓啊？
Blame my father, girl. It is not us, but our forefathers and the dragon god who have left this to us. The dragon god tricked our forefathers into thinking that they were swearing an oath to heaven in exchange for the prosperity of the kingdom of Ung. Our forefathers thought that all they had to do was to honor and pray to the gods, but only after taking the vow did the dragon god tell them that it was their souls and bodies and the souls and bodies of all the kings after them that will be sacrificed.
可是对方是神啊，你怎么杀得了他？
That's a good question, girl. If we do not kill him, the kingdom of Ung or the descendants of our royal family will forever be shackled by these chains, not to mention that we have already made an enemy out of the dragon god. So the least we can do is not drag the whole kingdom to the grave with us.
这么说，齐国也……
It will be as impossible as asking a tiger for its skin. Ung is a good example of that.
为了齐国，也为了吴少君，少将愿意倾尽所能。
Thanks for the sentiments, Princess Xiaojiang. We feel much better now. How is Shu Cheng doing? We wish to discuss about the war with him.
吴少君，你别勉强自己。齐军这场仗也损失了不少船只，暂时不会再来了。
Even so, it is a fact that the army of Ung has lost the battle. If only we were more alert, the people of Qi would not... I hold my tongue and smile bitterly. This is not the time to whine. It will only put Xiaojiang in a spot. We can hear the sounds of the waves as silence descends onto the cabin. It can also be the mourning song for the thousands of warriors of Ung that were lost at sea. Even though I know I should be consoling the soldiers and discussing about how we are going to counterattack, I don't feel motivated. If only Chen Feng was here. Where is he? My body starts to shiver uncontrollably. Princess, how is Chen Feng?
西子给陈峰用了镇魂术，不过龙神的咒术很强， 一时半会儿恐怕根除不了，所以先生在船舱画了风阵，让陈峰暂时在镇内休养。
Princess, please help us change our clothes. We wish to see him.
吴少君，使不得。且不说你也需要休养，万一陈峰又失了神智呢？
Then let him lose his mind. It's often said that a diseased heart requires medication for the heart. If the dragon god's curse managed to enter Chen Feng's body because he was worried about me, if I were to avoid him now, it would only cause him to worry more and increase the effect of the curse. That's reverse psychology.
我总觉得不太妥当。陈峰他只是一名侍卫，值得你冒这种风险，只为看看他吗？
Xiaojian gives me a look of confusion as I nod my head. Chen Feng has been by our side for many years. There's no way of putting a measure of worth on the bonds and affections between family members. We were the reason why he was cursed, so we cannot just stand by and do nothing.
我明白了，如果吴少君不介意，我带上朱雀剑，陪你去见他，可好？
Oops. Then I will rely on Princess Xiaojiang for that. The turbulent ocean waves seem to be cradling the cold half-moon as slivers of silver light blend in with the darkness. Even a big boat like the Yuhuang will be tossed about like a leaf on such brutal waves. Chen Feng is lying on the couch with his eyes closed. His face is pale and there are a few strips of cloths with faint, odd patterns wrapped around his body. I've always thought that it would be the injuries that he had sustained in Zuluo village that would be hard to heal. I was not aware that it would actually be the dragon god's curse that is already slowly eating away at his body and mind. If only I had paid more attention to Chen Feng.
少君，
Okay, new art. Is that the curse? That's like Sasuke's curse mark. I come to my senses when I hear Chen Feng's voice and our eyes meet. I don't know how long he has been kneeling in front of me with that look of concern and confusion in his eyes. He does not seem to be as rash and as frantic as before. How do you feel?
陈峰护卫不周，反倒劳烦少君照拂。
Saying this just after waking up, are you not concerned about the results of the battle today?
臣更关心少君，您受伤了。
Looking at the bandages on my hand, I cannot help but laugh. Because the king and the kingdom are one and the same, our injury cannot be compared to the pain of losing the battle.
其人也未获伤。
So you have heard about it?
移光之前来看过我，我都知道了。
你知道龙神的一神术了？
什么一神术？
After seeing Chen Feng's innocent expression, Xiaoqian gives me a puzzled and nervous look. Without waiting for me to react, she continues to question him.
在岛上的事情，你都不记得了？
陈峰愚钝，不懂神鬼之事，望少将公子明示。
I love that. I am dense and know nothing about ghosts and gods. Did Yi Guan mention anything other than the battle?
移光说，他得马上赶去施家密宫，尽量赶在1个月内与我们会合。在他回来前，我不可以轻易离开鱼皇。
Why did Yi Guan not tell us?
臣不知。
我知道，先生是去找破神盟的线索了，那里可能藏有神器。
Oops. Whoa. Shocked by the news, my legs give way beneath me. Luckily, Chen Feng is quick to react and catches me before I hit the ground.
施家密宫只有继承家主之位时才会开启，臣也觉得奇怪，但移光匆匆离开，没再详说。
Who's the she? That's Yi Guang's clan, I guess? How did Princess Xiaojie know about the secret palace?
先生在海上击杀布阵的龙神信徒时，发现他们召唤饕餮所用的玉器是施家独有之物，他担心龙神已经找到了密宫所在。
Well, if they haven't, then they will now. What does Zhong Dan want with the jade artifact of the Shi clan? He is too crafty to do something so pointless. There must be more than meets the eye here.
先生也这么想，他还问我剑魂可曾寄宿在别的物件上，我说从未见过。他猜白虎能寄宿于玉，肯定非比寻常，也说过会去追查线索。只是我没想到，先生动作这么快。
Even he is not confident about this. We should have went with him. Before I can say anything else, I feel Chen Feng's reproachful gaze on me. But the battle is not over, and I can only count on Yi Guang now.
吴少君，你这身体还是多休息。
谁？
Xiao Jian.
姑苏信使求见大王。
The messenger looks around at his surroundings and quickly closes the door after entering the cabin. He looks at Xiao Jian and hesitates. The princess can be trusted, so please speak without reservation.
相国有密报，要微臣亲自交给大王，千叮咛万嘱咐，不能让大王和陈锋将军以外的人知道。
Princess Xiaojiang is one of us. There is no need for you to worry. Wu Zixu would have something to say about that. The messenger hesitates before taking out a very small lacquered tube. Chen Feng takes it from him on my behalf and removes the thin strip of cloth that is hidden inside. There is only one line written in a familiar handwriting and with Wu Zixu's personal stamp on it. Bring the troops back for fear of a coup in Ng. My vision suddenly goes blank as Chen Feng rushes forward to study me. Everything is happening to this girl, man, to her kingdom. Even then, I find my voice trembling uncontrollably. Since you came from Gusu, you surely must know what is happening over there. What if Wu Zixu was actually the one that couldn't be trusted?
回大王，联军北上不久之后，有妖龙袭击姑苏，但被大柱设下的陷阱所伤，仓皇逃离，无人伤亡。姑苏城有惊无险。
Then why did the Prime Minister order you to send the secret message? What has happened to the Prime Minister? Surprised by my sudden outburst, the messenger takes half a step back and quickly bows his head.
臣离开姑苏时，相国与太宰正为姑苏粮仓受损一事争执不下，可这也是朝堂常见之事了。
The granary is damaged? This is a fine kettle of fish. What else are all of you hiding from us? We will also be the last to know if the kingdom of Ung decides to change its king one day.
微臣不敢。
少君息怒，既是密信，姑苏真正的状况，定然不为常人所知。
Whew, Lord. Hearing Chen Feng's calm voice helps suppress my anger as I take a few deep breaths. If only I did not have to deal with the cruel reality that my enemies are attacking me from both my front and back. Now it doesn't matter if the army of Qi retreats or not. We still have to go back. Chen Feng, rest here while we go and see Shu Cheng.
大王，微臣信已带到，这便告退。
信使留步，姑苏状况还需你亲自说明才好。
可相国交代，除了妖龙袭击一事，其他的不可对大王和陈锋将军以外的人说。少将公子在场，已是特例，请大王恕微臣不能。
Oh! In an instant, the scene before my eyes changes. Chen Feng has stabbed the messenger in the chest. Xiaojing lies unconscious nearby. I cannot tell if this is real or an illusion. Bro, the poor messenger! Instinctively, I look up at Chen Feng, only to have him look indifferently back at me.
有刺客，呼下！
What the? Chapter 11, I'm on Chen Feng's route? Okay. Well, that's it, because I'm not allowed to stream.
王姬，饮下这杯合欢酒，婚礼便成了。
Is this the past? Save. Well. Well. Aww. I just realized the orange words are stuff in the glossary. So let's read some. Let's learn. Let's learn the introduction text. When did they say this? I don't even know. In a time of myths and legends, under the mandate of heaven, King Wu overthrew the corrupt King Yu and started the Zhou dynasty of peace and prosperity. The good king secretly created the golden script to communicate with the gods and the demons. He took a sacred vow with the heavens. In exchange for the divine right to rule, his government would be one with virtue. Using the golden script, he carved this vow onto a large bronze vessel, the Ding of Virtue. The vow and the ding were passed down through generations of kings until it came into the hands of the corrupt King Ping, who broke the vow and lost the ding. The secret existence of the golden script then came to light, and the peace and prosperity of the Zhou dynasty started to wane, as the lands broke into smaller warring states. A time of chaos and turmoil has returned as countries prepared for yet another war. The Mandate of Heaven, or Heaven's Will, was a religious teaching with a political agenda to justify the role of a king or an emperor. It was taught that a just king would be given the right to rule as part of the natural order of things. If that king is overthrown, it would indicate that he is unworthy of the throne. Natural disasters are also an indication of heaven's displeasure with a ruler and a sign that the mandate of heaven has been withdrawn. King Wu, aka Ji Fa, was the third son of King Wen of Zhou and Queen Taisi. He was later the first emperor of the Zhou. Upon his succession to the throne, Fa worked with his father-in-law, Jiang Ziya, that's the myth dude, to complete the task of his late father left to him, to overthrow the tyrant regime of King Yu of the Shang dynasty. In approximately 1046 BC, Fa led a joint army of rebellious lords to destroy Shang's forces in the Battle of Muyue. King Yu later killed himself, and thus ending the Shang dynasty. Thus, Fa was enthroned as King Wu and founded the new dynasty of Zhou. He relocated the new capital to Haojing while establishing many feudal states under his 16 younger brothers and clans allied by marriage. King Wu of Zhou is considered one of the great heroes of China, together with the Yellow Emperor and Yu the Great. For further information, please look at Yellow Emperor in the glossary. Is this alphabetical? No. Yellow Emperor. Yellow Emperor, did I miss it? In the glossary. Yellow Emperor. There it is. The Yellow Emperor, aka the Yellow Thearch, is one of the legendary Chinese sovereigns and heroes. He was deified after death and is now regarded as an initiator of Chinese culture and said to be the ancestor of all the Chinese people. And that was... Okay, getting it, I think, the lore. The Sacred Vow. A sacred vow is a two-way vow taken between a human and a spirit, or demon, or ghost, to make an equivalent trade-off. The covenant of the sacred alliance is usually engraved into a bronzeware, like a ding, in golden script. The bronzeware then becomes an archive token of the sacred vow. The receipt. After taking the vow, an annual sacrifice or offering ceremony must be performed. The Ding of Virtue, a token of the sacred vow taken between the Emperor of Zhou and the heaven. For further information, please look at the golden script and the Ding of Virtue in the glossary. Okay. The Ding of Virtue. Dings are prehistoric and ancient Chinese bronze cauldrons. They usually have a round or rectangular shaped vessel with two facing handles that stand upon 3 or 4 legs. Dings have been used for rituals and are an implicit symbolism of power and authority. During the spring and autumn period, the term inquiring of the ding is often used interchangeably with the quest for hegemony. I don't know what that means. The Ding of Virtue. The Ding of Virtue is a fictional creation of this story. It is the token of the sacred vow taken between the Emperor of Zhou and the heavens. Emperor. For further information, please look at the sacred vow and the Emperor of Zhou in the glossary. The golden script, also known as the bronze inscription because they were written on bronzewares like a ding or bells, used in the Shang dynasty till the Zhou dynasty or later. They are one of the earliest scripts used in the Chinese family of scripts and are highly pictorial. The Chinese character of, I can't read that, which means virtue, in the golden script. That looks like a, never mind. King Ping, aka Ji Yizhou, was the 13th emperor of the Zhou dynasty and the first emperor of the Eastern Zhou dynasty. He was the son of King You of Zhou and Queen Shun, and was the crown prince of Zhou. In 775 BC, Yizhou was exiled by King Yu. The king's decision to dethrone the crown prince led to a civil war that went on for almost 5 years. With the support of the barbarians and the surrounding states, Yizhou eventually ascended the throne after King Yu was killed. However, there was a cost for his victory. The barbarians refused to obey the new king's order and ravaged the capital city of Haojing. Hence, Yizhou, now enthroned as King Ping of Zhou, moved his capital east to Luoyang. This ended the Western Zhou dynasty and began the Eastern Zhou dynasty and the Spring and Autumn period of the history of China. From that time onwards, Zhou's authority over the various feudal states eroded as more and more dukes and marquises obtained de facto regional autonomy by defying the emperor's court in Luoyang and waging wars among themselves. For further information, please look at King Yu in the glossary. There's so many people, like, I don't know. This is actually just like reading a history textbook. Autumn's offering ceremony. The ritual of making offerings to the heavens is a long-standing practice in China. This ritual is very important to the common people in the agricultural society, and it stems from the prehistoric worship of the great nature. This later became the practice of the ruling class as they built the Temple of Heaven, where the rulers of the Ming and Qing dynasty would go to worship the sky. During the spring and autumn period, in the kingdoms of Ng and Yue, there are important rituals of offerings to the 3 rivers during spring and the 5 lakes during autumn. These were to ensure good weather for raising crops, a bountiful harvest, and also to show the gratitude to the gods. During the prehistoric period, humans were used as sacrifices. However, during the spring and autumn period, 770 BC to 476 BC, and the Warring States period, 475 BC to 221 BC, that's a long time to be warring, man. Things have become more civilized, and they did away with the human sacrifices and used animals and crops in place of humans. My Vow to My Liege is a historical fantasy story set in the late spring and autumn period, and we put together the ritual offering to the 5 lakes and the worship of the dragon god to kickstart our story. Okay. So, wait, who was the one being was someone being sacrificed in the beginning, in the prologue? No, they were just trying to kill the Dragon King, so there wasn't a sacrifice, but it turned out everyone died. The worship of the dragon is very popular in ancient China, especially in southern territories that is abound in rivers and lakes like Ng. Being an agriculturally driven culture, at that point in time, the importance of water and the dragon that symbolizes water was imperative. It is believed that dragons reside in various bodies of water, while aquatic animals are able to evolve into dragons through their cultivation for immortality. For example, the dragon god of Lake Tai was originally a water snake residing in the lake. I want to see the dragon. The dragons are also believed to be able to call on the wind and the rain. As many historians believe, the worship of the dragon traces its origins back to the primitive cult of prehistoric animals. How did they, who's the first person who thought of the dragon? What? They're genius. Whoever did that was a genius. A magical array is an area marked with elaborate patterns or formation to make the space in it sacred and to contain magical energy within it. It is usually used for summoning and spells and in ceremonies. There are many different kinds of magical arrays in this story, such as the human sacrificial array, the sword formation, and the demonic array. The magic array drawn on the altar of Lake Tai for executing the dragon god. The sword formation beneath the sword pond for sealing the dragon god. More like quote-unquote sealing the dragon god. Kingdom of Ng. Ng was originally a city-state of the Zhou dynasty era in ancient China. It had eventually developed into a powerful kingdom in the late spring and autumn period of ancient China. It was located at the mouth of the Yellow River. Its capital is Gusu, currently known as Suzhou. The Kingdom of Ng during the late spring and autumn period. Okay. And Gusu is the capital. Okay. And Lake Tai. Okay. According to ancient records, the royal house of Ung traced its imperial lineage to Taibo, the great uncle of King Wu who founded the Zhou dynasty. Ung rose to power in the 6th century BC while the Viscounts of Ung started to proclaim themselves kings as the authority of the Zhou's court had been drastically weakening. Ung was later threatened by an upstart kingdom that was located south of them, Yue, and thus the two kingdoms warred on each other for years. For further information, please look at The Slave, the King of Yue, and Haojing in the glossary. Kingdom of Qi. Qi was a city-state of the Zhou dynasty era in ancient China. They were considered a duchy? a duchy? and an independent kingdom at various points in time. They were located in what is known today as Linzi in Shandong. Linzi was its capital. The Kingdom of Qi. Linzi. Linzi. Since the authority of the Zhou's court eroded, Qi became the first to gain hegemony over the feudal states during the early spring and autumn period. Though the hegemony passed to Jin as time went on, Qi remained a powerful kingdom as it was the last of the warring states to be conquered by Qin that put an end to the 500 years of war that aimed to unite China under the Qin dynasty. Okay. Kingdom of Chu. Chu was originally a city-state in the era of the Zhou dynasty. As the authority of the Zhou's court eroded since the early 8th century BC, the sovereigns of Chu proclaimed themselves kings on an equal footing with the Zhou kings. During the mid-spring and autumn period, Chu reached the height of its power and was considered one of the 5 hegemons of that era. The capital city of Ying. Since the authority of the Zhou's court eroded, Qi became the first to gain hegemony over the feudal states during the early spring and autumn period. Although the hegemony passed as to Qi. Wait. That's the same. Yeah. The royal we, or majestic plural, is the use of a plural pronoun to refer to a single person of high office, such as a monarch, earl, or pope. The more general word for the use of a we, us, or our to refer to oneself is gnocism. Gnocism? In this story, Fu Chai often uses the royal we to address herself as the king of Ung. Head priest / priestess are mages that have been given an official appointment by the king. Their duty is to lead official rituals held by the king and to lead the kingdom's people spiritually. Mages are people who are born with spiritual powers and are able to use those powers to practice magic. The sacred seal is a mark on the ones who inherit the throne of Ung through their bloodlines. It is also the token of the sacred vow taken between the king of Ung and the dragon god. The sacred seal. Eyeball. When all the 5 portions of the seal turn black, the body and the soul of the king of Ung will be taken away as a sacrifice to the dragon god. Tiger Hill. It is a hill in Suzhou, China, which is well known for its natural attractions and historic sites. The hill was originally known as Haiyong Hill, the hill emerging from the sea. It is said that it looks like a crouching tiger, hence the name was changed to Tiger Hill. Another legend says that a white tiger appeared on the hill to guard the tomb of King He Lu. Sword Pond is one of the famous historical sites on Tiger Hill. Oh, it's real! Legend says that the King He Lu of Ung is buried under the pond, together with 3,000 treasured swords, hence the name Sword Pond. The tomb of He Lu has never been opened and still remains a mystery till today. Our imaginary reconstruction of the Sword Pond. The tomb of King He Lu. The slave, King Gojian. King Gojian's reign over Yue coincided with the last major conflict of the spring and autumn period, and after a decade-long feud between the neighboring kingdoms of Ung and Yue. The kingdom of Yue during the late spring and autumn period, and its capital city of Kuaiji. The conflict between the two rivals reached a peak when Gojian succeeded the throne after his father's death. King Helu of Ng took the opportunity to launch an attack on Yue. However, Helu was mortally wounded during the war, and before his death, he instructed his son, who later became King Fuchai of Ng, to take revenge on Yue. Yue was defeated 3 years after that, and Gojian was captured to serve as Fuchai's slave for 3 years, before he was eventually allowed to return to Yue. That sucks. That is like mad humiliating. That sucks. At least he lived, I guess, and was able to return. The Emperor of Zhou, i.e. King Wu, was the first mortal to take the sacred vow with the heavens, that in exchange for the divine right to rule, his government must be one with virtue. He also founded an imperial feudal system named Zhuhou. To rule, he enyoffed some of his relatives, as well as influential generals and leaders. Some land with the instruction to represent the suzerainty of the Zhou Emperor. There are a few words in this sentence I do not understand. There were 5 feudal titles of nobility: Duke, Gong, Marquis, Ho, Earl, Bo, Viscount, Zi, and Baron Nan. The Zhou emperors, however, did not rely exclusively on the feudal lords for military support like the lords in medieval Europe. They had an army of their own. The sacred vow was broken during the regime of the corrupted King Ping, and hence the feudal system also ceased to exist in all but name. Yeesh. Whoa. Did you see that? It made me go to page 4 out of 3. Now I can't do that no more. There we go, 4. The jade fish, also known as the fish jade amulet. It is an important token of the Shi clan. Every newborn baby of the clan will be given a unique piece of jade with 2 fish carved on it. Each of the jade is excavated from the ancestral jade mine of the clan. I would like a distinction between like entries that are based on history and entries that are specific to this game. Unless if it's all mixed, because that is mad confusing. It can also be given as a love token to the soulmate of a Shi clan member. This is known as his, her, yin-yang fish. The jade fish of Shi Yuan. For further information, please look at yin-yang fish and the yin and yang in the glossary. King Liao, aka Zhou Yu, was the 23rd king of the kingdom of Ng. Liao was the grandson of King Shoumeng of Ng and succeeded the throne in 526 BC. He was also the cousin of Prince Gu, who was the later King Helu and considered himself the rightful heir to his grandfather's throne. In 515 BC, Prince Gu conspired with Wu Zishu. Prince Gu conspired with Wu Zishu against the king and sent assassins to kill King Liao during a function. Hence, Liao died, and Prince Gu ascended to the throne as King Helu of. So Wu Zishu be not trusting anyone because he's the one who betrayed somebody. Okay. She means west in Chinese, while Shi is a Chinese surname. Shi was, according to Chinese legends, one of the 4 beauties of ancient China. She was said to have lived during the end of the spring and autumn period in Zuluo, a small village located in the ancient kingdom of Yue. Her beauty was said to be so extreme that while she was leaning over a balcony to look at the fish in a pond, the fish would be so dazzled that they forgot to swim and sank below the surface. This description serves as the meaning behind the famous Chinese idiom, which literally means fish sink and geese fall, to describe great beauties. Legend says that Shi was given to King Fuchai of Ng by King Gojian of Yue in a sexpionage operation, which successfully brought down the kingdom of Ng in 473 BC. Oh, devious. My Vow to My Liege, however, is a historical fantasy retelling stories and legends. Here, Shi is turned from a woman to a man and from a mortal to a mage. Sexpionage. Tao Wu is one of the 4 perils in Chinese mythology. Tao Wu, meaning stupid stump, is said to be a demonic beast with a human face, 2 tiger's feet, 2 pig's feet, and a long tail. It is also an antagonistic counterpart of the Azure dragon. Tao Tia is one of the 4 perils in Chinese mythology. Tao Tia, meaning greedy glutton, is said to be a demonic beast with the body of a goat and the face of a man. It is also an antagonistic counterpart of the vermilion phoenix. Chongqi is one of the 4 perils in Chinese mythology. Chongqi, meaning poor and strange, is said to be a demonic beast that is a cross between a tiger and an ox with 2 horns, and has a set of wings. It is also an antagonistic counterpart of the white tiger. Hundun is one of the 4 perils of Chinese mythology. Hundun, meaning chaotic torrent, is said to be a demonic beast that is a cross between a dog and a bear. It is also an antagonistic counterpart of the black tortoise. The Azure dragon is one of the 4 symbols of the Chinese constellations. It represents the east and the season of spring. Thus, it is sometimes called the Azure dragon of the east. Vermilion phoenix, or known as the vermilion bird, is one of the 4 symbols of the Chinese constellations. It represents the fire element, the direction south, and the season of summer. Thus, it is sometimes called the vermilion phoenix of the south. It is described as a red bird that resembles a I can't read. It is described as a red bird that resembles a pheasant with 5-colored plumage and is perpetually covered in flames. The vermilion phoenix. But there's 2 of them in this game. 1 of them now, because one died. The white tiger is one of the 4 symbols of the Chinese constellations. It represents the west in terms of direction and the season of autumn. It is sometimes called the white tiger of the west. The black tortoise is one of the 4 symbols of the Chinese constellations. Despite its English name, it is usually depicted as a turtle entwined together with a snake. It represents the north and the seasons of winter. Thus, it is sometimes called the black tortoise of the north. The spiritual realm is a world beyond the physical world of mortals that only spirits can reside and get access to. The spiritual realm is not of the physical world. The 2 worlds, however, are interdependent and interconnected in ways that ordinary mortals can hardly notice. While the spiritual realm mirrors the physical world has impact on the spiritual realm. Memories or even illusory thoughts can be reproduced or embodied in the spiritual realm. I kind of love now, like, there's so much media that's based on these like Chinese mythologies, like even in like Japanese media too. So the more I'm learning about these, I'm like, oh, I've seen this from this thing, and that's where it's from. Oh, that makes sense. Like, that's what it's based on. Like, for example, some of the personas in Persona 4 are freaking, there's Tao Tia in there. And I thought it was called Toti, but it's Tao Tia. And obviously the spirit world and stuff like that. But I know Japan has its own spirit world mythology too. The gentleman/sir. It is translated from the Chinese term xianshen. Xiansun. Xiansun is an honorific for adults, usually conferred on males, especially in the ancient Chinese context. In some occasions, it can also mean doctor, physician, teacher, or Taoist priest. Mr. Xiansun. Yin-yang fish is how a Shi clan member addresses his or her soulmate. The motif of the fish is important for the Shi clan due to their worldview of the yin and yang concept based on Taoism. For further information, please look at Yin and Yang, the Jade Fish, and Transcending Fish Dance in the Glossary. Yin and Yang. In ancient Chinese philosophy, the yin and yang is a Taoist concept of dualism, describing how seemingly contrary forces may actually be complementary, interconnected, and interdependent in the universe, and how they may give rise to each other as they interrelate to one another. Yin and Yang symbol. Image source, Pixabay. According to Taoism, the universe creates itself out of the chaotic energy named Tai, which means the Grand One. Tai organized into the cycles of yin and yang like 2 fish swimming in a perfect circle, hence it forms into objects and lives. Yin is the receptive and yang is the active principle, seen in all forms of change and difference, such as the annual cycle of summer and winter, the daily cycle of day and night, and the sexual coupling of the two genders. Okay, straighties. The vow to slay the dragon. We summon the power of heaven to slay the dragon god, to bring a shining example of virtue to all mortals, and to break the sacred vow. This is the sacred vow taken by the royal house of with the heavens. Summoning the power of heaven is to ask for the divine help in executing the dragon god, hence breaking the sacred vow taken between the king of and the dragon god. To be in alliance with the heavens, however, one must rule virtuously as the emperor of Zhou once did. Hence, to be a shining example of virtue to all mortals is the promise for the government to be the one with virtue. Han City, modern Yangzhou, was built under the order of King Fuchai of in the ambition to expand the kingdom's influence northwards. The king also ordered the digging of the Han Canal, which connects the Yangtze River with the Huai River. The Yellow Emperor, aka the Yellow Theurg. Did I read this already? Yeah, I did. Qi Yu was a tribal leader of the Nine Li tribe in ancient China. He is best known as a warrior king who lost to the person who would later be the Yellow Emperor. Today, Qi Yu is deified as the god of war and one of the three legendary founding fathers of China. Odes of Qi Jiming. It is not the east that is bright, but the light of the rising moon. This is a quote from an ancient Chinese poem, Odes of Qi Jiming, in the classic of poetry. The poem depicts a conversation between a wife and a husband. The wife urges her husband to attend court as the sun has risen, and that the husband answered, "It's not the east that is bright, but the light of the rising moon." Wu Zixu quotes the sentence to implicate that he is feeling obsolete now that he is no longer needed in court. Attend court since the sun rose. It's not the east that is bright, but the light of the rising. Sure. Haojing is the ancient capital of Zhou. It was abandoned since the corrupted King Ping relocated the capital east to Luoyang, thus ending the Western Zhou dynasty and beginning the Eastern Zhou dynasty and the Spring and Autumn period. The ruins of Haojing. The Marquis of Jin. He is the king of the kingdom of Jin and inherited the noble title of Marquis, which is the second of the 5 feudal titles of nobility created by the Emperor Zhou. King Yu, aka Ji Gongsheng, was the 12th emperor of the Zhou dynasty and the last king of the Western Zhou dynasty. He reigned from 781 to 771 BC. King Yu exiled Queen Shen and Crown Prince Li Yizhou, the later King Ping, after the king became enamored with his concubine Bao Si and made her queen. As a result, Queen Shen's father, the Marquis of Shen, teamed up with the barbarian leaders and local satellite states to overthrow King Yu, Yu was then killed, and Bao Si was captured, and the ancient capital city of Haojing was lost. Thus, the Western Zhou dynasty ended, and the Eastern Zhou dynasty and the Spring and Autumn period began. My God, no wonder why Chinese dramas are so crazy. Sun Wu, aka Sun Tzu, was a Chinese general, military strategist, writer, and philosopher who was born in the late Spring and Autumn period. In around 512 BC, Sun Wu was introduced by Wu Zixu to King He Lu of He contributed to Ng's victory over the kingdom of Chu in 506 BC. In his later years, Sun Wu retired to the country of and died there. He is best known in the West as Sun Tzu, which means Master Sun. He is the author of the well-known book The Art of War, a book which still holds influence over military strategies and philosophy both in the East and the West. Ceremonial wine. This is used in the rites of passage, in the rites for marriages in ancient China. After the groom welcomes the bride into the house, he would split a calabash into half and they will drink out of the same broken piece. This signified that husband and wife are now of one body. It is only later in that era that they would use wine cups with the ceremonial wine. The tiger tallies were a proof of authorization for the use of military force in ancient China. They were used by a king or an emperor to command and dispatch the army. Hence, the tallies were always designed in pairs which could match perfectly with each other. The right piece was retained in the central government while the left piece was issued to the local officials or commanders. The hand-on-hand salute is a form of etiquette that was practiced by the aristocrats in China. These were part of the rites of the Zou's court and was practiced by the feudal lords of the spring and autumn period in various degrees according to their social status. The hand-on-hand salute is the most basic form of etiquette. It is mostly used when host and guests greet each other. As a foreign envoy from Qi, Gong Su-yi would do a hand-on-hand salute with a bow when addressing Fu Chai. Is Gong Su-yi still just chilling? I forget. In court, or did he set off to Qi? I forget. People of similar status can also use it when they greet each other. For example, Fu Chai's imperial tutor Wu Zishu and Fu Chai's childhood friend Yi Guang also use this casual form of etiquette. The most formal salute of greeting is a kowtow salute. This is done when the subordinate addresses their lord. Go Jian, being Fu Chai's slave, does this the most frequently. Lake Tai, aka the Five Lakes, in the ancient times was about 500 square miles large. It was also thought to be one of 5 lakes or comprises of 5 lakes. It was also an ancient ritual to hold an offering ceremony at Lake Tai every autumn to appease the gods. Now it is a lake in the Yangtze Delta and one of the largest freshwater lakes in China. The lake lies in Jiangsu province, and a significant part of its southern shore forms the border of Zhejiang. Transcending Fish Dance. It is a unique and magical dance technique of the Shi clan. It is a fictional variation on Yu-Bu, Pace of Yu, a mystical dance arrangement that was performed by the Taoist priest and priestess in ancient ritual practices. It gets its name, the Transcending Fish Dance, from a famous Chinese legend that tells of a carp that evolved into a dragon after jumping over the dragon gate. Hence, this dance contains enormous magical power that can even prevail over a dragon. There is also another context that is taken from a well-known Chinese saying that fish sink and geese fall. This saying was a way to describe Sishi for being such a beauty that could captivate the fish and the birds. I'm learning! The Transcending Fish Dance sounds like the key to defeating the dragon god. Relation. Whoa! Whoa! Scroll down with the mouse wheel. Ooh, is this spoilers? Zhongdan, Mage Shan. Dragon god's followers, they worship him. King Yu of the loyalty to unknown, maternal side of the family grandmaster. Oh, the head priest and priestess were so gorgeous. Okay, maternal side of the family, He Lu is our dad. King Liao, okay, they're cousins. And then an unknown person, okay. And He Lu is enemies to them. Oh my god, and Mage Xian is loyal to King Liao. And is King Liao the one murdered people of the Shi clan? He Lu murdered the people of the Shi clan. Is that who he sacrificed? To attempt to kill the dragon god. Okay. Father and children. Shi Yiguang. And then we go here. Friends. Oh, he's friends with me. Prince Fu Chai. Father and children. We're friends with Si Gojian. King of Yue. Okay. Unknown relation. Me. Okay, loyal to me. Wu Zishu. Political enemy. Bo Pi. I don't remember who Bo Pi is. I remember his name, but I don't remember his role. Chen Feng. He's commanding royal guards of Ng. Shu Cheng is loyal to me. Friends with Xiao Jian, brother and sister King Dao of Qi, who was murdered by Tian Heng. New king, Ren of Qi. Take hostage. Is that spoilers? Nah, that's probably not spoilers. I think we learned that. And Gong Sui is loyal. Yeah, he's mad loyal to Xiao Jian. I respect him for that. Cool. Okay. Save again. Even though it's the same thing. Okay. I just want to see. They have... Oh, okay, let's look at the gallery first of like the 2 CGs we unlocked. Him dying. Beautiful. We love it. I love how like we're standing straight, like nothing's happening. We're just there. Dead. Okay, and then his fancy water sword attack pose. This freaking beautiful hair. Why is his hair so nice? Effortless. Okay. This one's cute. I like this one. I like how we look. And then we hold hands. That's so cute. That's so kawaii. And then we smile. That's so cute. Look in the background too. Why do we look so good? And there's our fish amulet on our waist. And then... oh, this is a mirror. Okay, I see. And then there's the comb behind. Okay. And then we're like, we're a monster. We still look good. Well. Okay. I still want to see the dragon. In non-silhouette form. You get 1 phoenix. You get... That's Xiaojiang and... Is that us? Yeah, that's us. We're riding on the other phoenix. Oh, you get a map? My god. Are we going to visit all these places? My god. Eastern Barbarians. EC. Gusu. Okay, so that's us. Kingdom of Ung. We're right there. My god. And where's the Qi Kingdom? Qi Kingdom, where are you? Where are you deploying your troops from? I don't even see you. The Han Canal, Han City. Anyways. There we have the cute little chibis. Oh, our hair's down here. When was this again? I don't remember. I love that he ate all the snacks. In the name of protecting us from poison. Character. Sugo Jan, 21 years old. He is the king of Yue. Because he lost the war with Ung, he surrendered himself to Ung to become a slave as he guards Helu's mausoleum. He is a proud and arrogant person who suffered terrible humiliation as a slave. That made him even more determined to take revenge on Ung by exterminating the whole country. But he inadvertently becomes friends with Fu Chai. That's a very conflicting interest. His survival skills are on par with Bear Grylls. That is so funny. He can down a bottle of Mao Chai wine, but becomes a foul-mouthed babbling idiot when he gets drunk. He is good at woodwork and mends his own house. Hey yo, it's Bear Grylls. My name is Sugo Jie, and you're Man vs. Wild. Shi Yi Guang. He's only 19 years old? What? How old are we? How young are we then? I was like much older. A citizen of the Kingdom of Ung, he is the next leader of the Shi clan and the most magically powerful clan in all of the Kingdom of Ung and Yue. As a child, he was Fu Chai's playmate. He secretly escaped to Zulo village in the Kingdom of Yue to avoid being sacrificed at the Sword Pond. They were gonna sacrifice him. He was like their best. He's the son of the priest and priestess and probably the most magically adept, and they were gonna sacrifice him. His medical skills are second to none. He is gentle and kind. Some may call him Shi Shi. When washing his bandages and gauze at the river, he is often mistaken as a beautiful maiden. His strongest skill is juggling. Not his medical skill, but like juggling. His cooking skills are also unbeatable. Okay, male wife. I see you. Oh, his real name. Oh, yeah, I noticed that they have the voice actors too. Wu Yuan, age 37. He looks older. A citizen of the Kingdom of Chu named Zixu. The king of Chu executed his family and clansmen when he was a boy, and his hair turned white overnight. Bro, the trauma and the stress. Helu took him in, and his only mission in life is to help Fu Chai break the sacred vow with the dragon god. He is highly wary but reliable. The one he hates the most is the king of Yue, Gojian. His occupational hazard as it's not the king of Chu. You don't hate the king of Chu for killing your family? His occupational hazard as the head instructor is his fear of having his exceptionally talented students kidnapped. He was an outstanding student of literature and once wrote love poems. Aw, he's definitely a big softie, yo. Chen Feng, 22 years old. Orphaned on the battlefield, he was taken in by He Lu to be Fu Chai's playmate. He studied under Mr. Sun Wu to become Fu Chai's most loyal and dependable bodyguard. He is a calm, unapproachable man of few words. He's a fan of sweet treats and slapsticks. He behaves like a spoiled puppy dog? ? He has won the championship in fishing for many years straight. He got the thing. That's the on his waist, the eagle bird thing. That's what they showed us, the followers of the dragon god. When they're like, haha, we have your dude. Ah, King Zhengdan. 16 years old. Why is there a male symbol? I guess to confirm that he is a male. I don't know. He's only 16 years old. Hold on. The head priest of the kingdom of... he is the heir of the Zheng clan, a well-known clan for their magical powers. His voice is so deep though. His voice is so nice. He used to live in the forest in seclusion, but since the Shi clan was no more, Hulu invited him out of the forest to protect the magic circle at Tiger Hill. He takes everything lightly, and his carefree smile somehow holds an unfathomable slyness. Oh, I feel bad for the real Zhengdan, man. He's dead. Freaking Dragon King. Dragon God, I mean. Although he likes cute little animals, he thinks that they are troublesome. Doesn't like going out, a shut-in. There's a hot tub in his room. Bruh. Shut-in? Me too. A hot tub in the room? Bro. Take a dip. Xiaojian, 16 years old, female. She is a princess of Qi. In the midst of the political chaos in Qi, she and her brother, the king of Qi, are bound by the same fate as they love each other dearly. While she is engaged to Fu Chai, she dresses up as a man to go to Ung, and not just for the sake of curiosity. Just like a civet cat, she likes to cry and yet has a fiery temper. She likes birds and anything to do with them. Although she is from the north, she is afraid of the cold. She's a heroine for being able to eat raw garlic. Queen, slay. I love that he wears shorts and has that thing around his thigh. I love his little glove thing and his everything and his hair, and yeah. I like Chen Feng's eyes. I do. Everything else, okay. Wu Zishu, I think I like his hair. He's fine. I like his heart, I guess. Shi Guang, beautiful man. Nothing else to say. Too protagonisty. Gojian, his hair's fine. His eyes are fine. I think, yeah, I'm least interested in Gojian right now. I guess I would be most interested in Chen Feng technically, who is, and then probably I'll do Wu Zishu next, and then Yiguang. I just feel like Yiguang would just be very like, the Ru would be very like boring to me, very vanilla to me. I don't know. Gojian is the one I'm looking forward to the least. Alright, cool. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the stream today. Again, unfortunately, we cannot continue. What happened to the background? Hold on. What happened to the background? Whatever. Unfortunately, we cannot continue this because the devs did not give permission for anyone to record or stream after Chapter 10 of the Common Route. But hopefully, if they release that soon, then we can come back to this. I don't know when that'll be though. And I feel like I will definitely forget everything that's happened and everything that's going on. But I guess that's what the mods are for, right? Alright, so thanks for hanging out and everything. I'll see y'all next week. I don't know what we'll be doing yet, but we'll be doing something. Have a good one. Goodbye.